Welcome to Ask Yourself Why Not, the podcast where two friends read a lot of self-help books, listen to a lot of podcasts, and talk it out with each other and our community.
So we can all feel better in real life without the pressure to fix ourselves.
We're your hosts,
Shaye
and Jayla,
and we're really glad you're here. What's up, Why Notters?
What is up?
This is Shaye.
And this is Jayla.
And this is the
Ask Yourself Why Not podcast. The place you come where you stop asking yourself why.
And you start asking yourself, why not?
Yeah, so we are on a walk.
Yep, we got our butts up today early. It feels like fall this
It really
morning.
does.
Little
It's
chilly.
cold. Like I'm in pants and a sweatshirt,
Yeah,
and I'm still a little chilly.
I know. I forgot my sweatshirt. We ended up walking to my house to get one because it's a wee bit chilly.
It is. And there's like a little breeze too, and it's foggy. Like you said, it reminds us of like October weather, right?
It does. But I miss you. I haven't been around. Oh, there's a beautiful dear friend that
Yes.
we've been talking about.
Yes, Shay's been traveling a lot. She
Yeah.
hasn't really been in the state of West Virginia
I
too
know.
much.
It's been a journey for sure. But I was telling Jayla, living here near Pittsburgh, we can get direct flights to Colorado, to Denver. And I was like, why haven't we come here before?
Yeah.
We should go.
Absolutely. I would love to. And actually, my 40th birthday is next year.
Yes.
And so Dawn, a yoga teacher, a friend of ours, and Melissa and I, speaking of a flight, would like to do like a yoga retreat in a
That would
different
be
country
awesome.
for my birthday. So if anyone listening is like thinking, oh my gosh, you should go here, please reach out because I feel like if I want to do that, I need to get that on schedule.
Yeah, Amy Dobkin did that one in Spain. I don't know if she put it together or just was part of it.
Yes, she did like the breath work portion of it.
Yeah, she was at our Empower Fest, was a big hit this year, and does some breathwork classes. Where does she do them now?
She still does them at the Flying Spoon, but
Okay.
she also does a couple at Restore in St. Clairsville, Restore
Yeah.
Yoga.
They're lovely if you ever are looking for a little zen in your life, but that would be fun. The Red Rocks, I've known a couple people to go out there and go to concerts. I guess it's an awesome venue. But
Where is that?
That's the one in Denver.
Okay.
It's like I don't know if it's a natural amphitheater. I'd have to look it up, but I know it's kind of famous. And it'd be fun to see a concert there and like go hiking and
Yeah,
I don't know, just a little.
maybe we'll do both.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly. I'm all about the direct flights.
Yeah.
It just makes your travel way easier, especially if you're just going for a few days.
Yes.
So,
So
anyways,
if you don't fly a lot and you know, when you do fly, you can have connecting flights to where you have to hang out in an airport
yes,
a lot, right?
yes,
But direct flights is just from point A to point B.
yeah, it just makes it easier to get there. How is your space coming?
Oh, yes. So I haven't really talked about it too much, but I actually had an astrology reading last week, and she told me that was like her biggest takeaway from my chart was you need to talk more about what you're building, you know? So I'm going to talk about it, and I have been talking about it. I am opening a studio downtown and it's coming together. Flooring's in. They're finishing the bathrooms by August 1st. And then the rest of the flooring gets finished. And then I'm going to order furniture and everything. So we should be up and running probably in a couple months, maybe slowly, maybe in a month, but nothing with like scheduling service or anything for a couple months. But I'm going to do spin. Me, Sydney, Jill, and Kyle have been going to this one studio up in Canonsburg. It's called Spin Easy. Shout out to Jayla. She's the owner. She has such a nice space.
So you said, and you said it's modeled after like a speakeasy.
It's called Spin Easy. Yes, and it's like after a speakeasy, but the vibe's really cool. It's a spin, Pilates, sculpt, yoga place, and it's really cool. And anyway, Jayla, the owner, she's gonna really help me as far as getting things started with my studio. But yeah, that'll be downtown. I'll be doing monthly memberships and all the things because I decided we're just going to go for it.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's where your brokerage will be housed out of as well. And then eventually we're going to put our podcast studio in there.
Yeah, so there will be a podcast studio in there, like a content room as well. And that's where we're going to be able to record too, and then be able to make content for like the brokerage and stuff. So
yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm excited to see it.
It's coming together. It's been a long time. It's been under construction since April 2025.
Doesn't it take a lot longer than we think it should take?
Well, we didn't use a big company. We used two of our friends, contractors.
Yep.
Keith and Daryl. They're licensed contractors, but they're also skilled carpenters and licensed electricians and plumbers. So they're very skilled, but it's just been the two of them. So they have been the one doing our rebuild, our renovation or whatever. But so it's been a little bit of a journey, but we're excited. Everyone in the brokerage is excited. And I'm starting to get excited about the studio because it was a little like, am I really doing this for a while?
I like the floors that you chose and everything. Good morning.
Yes, I did some funky, bright colored floor. So,
and once you get in there, I think it would be fun to do like an exercise sampler event.
Oh, yes. I have been talking about that. We're going to do a fitness sampler to where we'll have 30-minute classes, 15-minute breaks to where you can come and try classes. And right now I am trying to find some instructors. So if you're interested, I will need some instructors. I'm looking into programs. Actually, the girl that owns the Cannonsburg actually trains and is able to certify people in spin and in sculpt. So looking into that, would love to get especially some people that can do evening and weekend classes.
Yeah.
Because myself, as well as my inner circle, we are mourning and we have lots of active children. So
we're in that phase.
So if you're interested in that, reach out. I meet with her on Monday. And then after that, I feel like I'm going to be able to make some decisions after that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited for the progress to continue with that. But yeah, we just happy to be out here on a walk. Been trying to get my 10K a day. Yes. Why is it? It's so much easier in the summer.
It is.
I feel like in the winter, I'm like 3,000 steps a day.
You know what, though? I think back to 2020, 2021, where we were out and like 0-degree weather.
Remember? Oh yeah, we walked and walked and walked.
We were dedicated, and
because we were locked up.
It was almost like cool. I feel like we were a little
definitely. We tricked ourselves into being like, "This is great."
We love cold. It is so fresh and crisp and clean.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that bad once you get out in it.
No,
I think it's the mindset of getting there, and it's hard when it's cold in the mornings and dark.
You know what? As long as you're like your fingers and your feet and, your nose, ears, certain things in your body are warm, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But Shaye, I'm glad you brought that up because our topic kind of goes with this. Because when I think about before we walked and we jogged in the freezing cold, I used to say, I don't like walking in the cold. But then I learned that I did like walking in the cold. That was just something I told myself.
Yeah, 1,000%. And what we tell ourselves,
we believe
it's easier also to go negative, right?
Yes. So we're going to kind of touch on, our inner dialogue and how if we're not being intentional with what we're thinking about and, where we're putting our energy even, that our minds and how we are as human beings will naturally go negative, go through fear.
Yeah. My mom used to say that her mom used to say, hopefully you followed that. So my grandma, I guess, used to say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Yes.
And that kind of goes along with what we're talking about. If we're not intentionally choosing our thoughts, obviously, as much as we can, then we're going to go and entertain ourselves and move more towards the negative.
Yeah.
It's just the way we're wired.
Have you ever heard that there are two types of people that constantly are thinking of something and that people that can have blank space and not be thinking of something?
Yes, that's wild.
I don't even know if I believe that.
I don't believe that either.
However, when I think about that,
do you want to walk down this way?
My mind is always thinking,
It is. And you know what? Sometimes it's just when I do meditations in the morning, they'll make awareness of that. They'll be like, okay, and when your mind is starting to get off of your breath and bring it back. And I can't tell you how many times during that 10 minutes that I'm distracted.
Then you wander off.
You wander
and you
off.
start thinking about, something that happened or something on your to-do list.
Yeah,
or
whatever, nothing important.
what are you going to pack your kids for lunch?
Yep, exactly. So it just kind of does show you how distracted we are. But we listened to this podcast by Dr. John DeMartini.
Yeah.
He was like a motivational speaker. And he talked about, Jayla and I have mentioned this before, but how your subconscious mind controls you, right? It's already programmed. And basically
It's
you're
like 90%?
Yeah, it's your operating system for how you behave in the world, what you see on a day-to-day basis, the thoughts you kind of have, all that stuff. It can be reprogrammed, but you have to have awareness to do so.
Yes.
So he talked about the importance of like repetitively saying things to yourself that you want to become. And he talked about how he was like a high school dropout, not a very smart guy, had a learning disability. According to him, he said he could never read a book cover to cover because of the learning disability. And he ended up meeting this older guy. He was like in his 90s. And he said, well, what do you want to do with your life? And he's like, well, I want to travel the world and like share wisdom with people.
Yep. Philosophy.
And he goes, I had no idea how I could do that because, I was a high school dropout.
How was he going to make income?
Right. So the guy, the 93-year-old said to him, he goes, you need to say this to yourself on repeat and do not miss a day. Say, I am a genius and I apply my wisdom.
Yeah.
And he said he started doing that. And then he was like, I'm a master of persistence, all of those things. And as he started saying that to himself, his life changed. He started traveling the world as a motivational speaker. He ended up buying
top of his class too when he graduated in philosophy.
Yeah. Ended up going to college, graduating top of his class, buys a company called the World Boat or something like that.
He ended up getting a job offer to go and travel the world. And the boat's name was The World.
Yeah, it was called The World. And he said it was a literal playground. And one of his affirmations he would repeatedly say to himself was, I travel the world is my playground.
Yes, and that was what his boat was named when they offered him a job opportunity.
Yes. So I think it's just an important reminder of how important it is to be conscious about programming our thoughts.
Well, I mean, too, if you think about it, whatever you constantly tell yourself, you will believe.
And see.
Yes, and you'll see it. Like we talk about this all the time, guys.
Mhm.
Like there's scientific evidence behind it, right? But the words that you repeat become your reality,
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you, what is the negative script that you constantly catch yourself thinking? Or maybe you don't even know you do it, but think right now.
Like I don't have time.
Oh, gosh.
I think that's been one that I have bought into because I'll be like, I'm so busy. I have no time. I can't do this. And you know what it is too? It's like seeing friends. Social connection's important, right? But like I kind of like let it fall to the bottom of my priority list in this phase of life.
Well, mine is like, I'm just exhausted.
That's a good one too.
I'm tired.
Yeah. It's a good one. I say that too. And then I'll catch myself.
And be like, am I really?
Am I tired? I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Go this way. Sure. I was just trying to stay off National Road as much as we could so it wouldn't be as loud.
Oh, well, we can go this way.
You want to walk this way?
We're on a walk, guys.
Anyway, so the friends thing here recently, I haven't seen my friends from college in like a year. And some of them in several, like 2 years or so.
Gosh, I don't even remember the last time I've seen my friends in college.
Right. We had this group chat and like Jayla and I talked about for Empower Fest, we wanted to make the group chat come to life, right?
Yep.
You talk about meeting and doing all these things and no one ever does anything. So it kind of got me thinking about my college friends. So I just put it out there. I was like, is anyone able to do dinner this date or this date? Not everybody could, but my one friend was like, this is crazy. Sam, she goes, I'll do both days.
Yeah.
Because I miss you so much. So I just made reservations at a couple different restaurants for those Fridays. And I feel like whoever can go, right? And we'll get to see each other. But like we do have time. And I got to stop telling myself I don't.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. You just got to figure out where you can make it,
Another really good affirmation he used was, I am a master of persistence.
Mm-hmm. I like
Ooh,
that.
yeah. How many times have we just like given up on things?
I'm going to give an example of one that I have worked hard and I still catch myself going back into these, but I was just talking to my friend Cheyenne yesterday about how we were raised in a household to believe, money is scarcity.
Oh, I knew you were going to go money.
Yes,
Yes.
because
It's hard.
I know, and me and Cheyenne were just talking about this. We were talking about a mutual friend who's just really not happy in their career, but they're like a good person and they're very talented and they're just really feeling like they need a change. And, it can be really scary. But
Mhm.
we were talking about how me now, I constantly will think, well, I can just make more money,
Mhm.
and I have worked so hard on that thought or that belief, I should say, because I didn't always believe it and I'm not saying my parents were terrible or anything, but I remember I was an athlete. And when you would travel in the school bus to go to different schools, you would stop at like Burger King or something on the way home to have dinner. And I remember even when I'd ask my dad for like $5 to get food after a game, he'd be like, do you really need it? Because it all adds up.
Right.
Money doesn't grow on trees, Jayla.
And literally hamburgers were 45 cents back
You know
then.
what I mean?
I know.
I know. But then I also think, and this, my kids, they just have their freaking Apple Cash and whatever. But I know that we're blessed. Me and my husband work very hard, and whatever, my kids have the means. But then I also think I will never say those things around my kids. I will never say money doesn't grow on trees.
Right.
Sometimes I do say, Hadley, that's very expensive, because that's a fact. But I am very careful with what I say because that was the dialogue that was said constantly around me as a kid. And when I grew up, or, I could just notice in my adulthood, I was just very scarcity minded of money.
Yeah.
And it was
afraid
like money
that there wasn't going to be enough, right?
Yes. But now I have worked so hard. Shaye, both of us have done a lot of work on that.
Oh, yeah.
To where you have to reframe that negative thought into something more positive, that it's really just energy. It's an energy exchange and you just have to make more.
I love that. I always write down, one of my affirmations around money is, I am uber wealthy and money flows to me with ease.
Yep.
And Jayla and I actually did this. Was it Gabby Bernstein's Abundance Challenge or something? But we started writing affirmations on Post-it notes and they were related to wealth.
It wasn't Gabby Bernstein.
It was somebody's.
What was that one? We should restart that.
But anyways, we would write these affirmations like, like I just said, money flows to me with ease.
Yes, or abundance.
I'm a magnet.
I'm a magnet for abundance.
For wealth or whatever. And not so much to like, I don't want it to sound like we're like, I need all this money in the world, but it's to help your mindset, because we both had this like big fear that we would either lose our jobs and never be able to support ourselves
or
again.
We wouldn't be able to support our children.
We couldn't support our children. Yeah.
Yes.
Midlife's a lot with all of that.
So I guess I'm just trying to tie in a real life example of a dialogue that constantly played in my head that I have worked very hard to reframe that.
Yes, I agree. I think it's creating awareness is the first step. That's what Oprah always said. And you can do that via meditation, pausing, and just observing how busy your mind is.
And then just asking if what you're thinking is actually true.
Is true. And do you know it to be true? Those are really good ones. Our Feel Good 5 is super helpful for all this. Moving your body.
We should start our journal back again, Shaye.
I was doing it. I just started it and I love it, guys.
I just found it last week.
I started writing in it this past week and I was like, you know what? This is a good dang journal.
Well, when our studio's open, we'll have them for sale there.
Yeah. Another thing our journal adds on there, talking about like reprogramming your thoughts, is it says, it's going to be a great day. Text that to your kid every day. Text that to a best friend, a family member every day. It will remind you both, hey, it's going to be a great day. Anyways, very important stuff. I love that I'm a master of persistence.
Yes, I love that too, man.
Yep. I'm a master of persistence.
Yeah. So it's basically just kind of, in a nutshell, changing from being scarcity in your mindset to being abundant.
Yeah.
Welcoming more abundance,
We always want more control
Yeah.
as humans. And sometimes when we feel out of control, we get a little frantic. But instead of getting frantic, it's like go inward and start to control your thoughts, right?
Yes.
And make them a little more positive, and then you'll start to see the world different and attract better opportunities.
Yes. So today, maybe think, what's one sentence that you've been telling yourself lately that you need to rewrite? Rewrite it, because if your thoughts are shaping your reality, what would happen if you changed it?
Right.
What could, what would become better if you could change that negative thought?
That's huge. I mean, I think that's
Just
the
living a
key.
happier life would be all the reason,
Right. And living joy and, just experiencing all that you came here to experience, being present, right? We always say that.
One that I love too, whenever I'm met with rejection, this or something better or something bigger, making
That's really
space
good.
for something better and bigger.
I saw something the other day. We always use this. Everything's always working out for me in my favor. They said, I saw this thing on Instagram, and I think I shared it on our Ask Yourself Why Not. But it was make yourself a date 6 months from now.
I sent that to you, Jill, and Sydney, and we put the date in our calendar, and I don't think you checked my message yet.
Probably not. But
January 18th.
But you make yourself a date, and it's everything worked out for you.
Yes,
Dinner.
January 18th is the date that we put on our calendar.
Okay. I don't know if I did. Did I?
I don't think you responded, but then I saw you shared it. I'm like, maybe she read my message and didn't respond.
I'm famous for not reading messages.
I don't read them on Instagram hardly ever.
I know. I'm famous for that. But I loved that because honestly, we worry and worry and worry and worry.
Yeah.
And then things do work out. It always plays out, right?
Yes. So that is our little tip of the day.
Yeah.
Also, another tip, don't put dry shampoo on your armpit.
Ouch.
This morning I got up and I didn't want to turn on a bunch of lights. And I've been trying spray deodorant. And it's like that, what is it? Tribe? No.
Okay.
Native. Maybe. I don't know. But it smells really good. But I accidentally grabbed my dry shampoo because they're in the same kind of bottle and sprayed my left armpit.
Ouch.
And it started freaking burning.
Yes.
So don't do that.
Yeah, that's a good pro tip for the day.
Yes.
I like
Make
that.
sure you're actually putting deodorant on your armpits. Okay.
Oh my goodness. And I'll give one. Don't smash your big toe now.
Oh yeah.
It hurts so bad. Oh my God. I already have an injured toe now. We are moving our boys and her daughter into, I say college for the weekend because they did a soccer camp, and I freaking hit my big toe and it's already bruised down to the base. And if anybody knows locally of a woman podiatrist, I want to go to one. I just think they're a little more gentle in general, and they understand the aesthetics of toenails.
Yes.
Some of these doctors are let's just take it off permanently. And
let's just take your toe off,
It freaks me out.
You don't need your big toe.
That's right. So, yeah, that's that.
Alrighty, guys. This is the
Ask Yourself Why Not podcast. All right. Our new episode came out.
Hells to the yeah.